Prepare yourselves for Audio Smackdown. Because we are ready. Delzinski Smack Talks present We Talk.
Yo, alright guys, Delzinski here. Welcome to another We Talk. And as per usual, I'm joined by my partner in crime, Smack Talks. How you doing, mate?
I'm doing well, man. How's you?
I'm very good. I am very good indeed. And we've also got the J-Man with us this week. How you doing, J-Man?
I'm fine, thanks, mate. How are you on this splendid eve?
I am absolutely splendid. How good is it, Smack Talks, to have the J-Man back with us?
It's amazing. He's back by popular demand.
Exactly. And he's sounding rather posh.
Yes, I don't know what he's been up to.
He's gone upper class. That's where he's gone. I don't know why he's back here then on We Talk.
Maybe he's come to teach her a lesson in being posh.
Anyway, it is Smack Talks this week. It is me, Delzinski, and of course, it's kind of the J-Man. Basically, this is Brian from last week, if you remember, but he's now been upgraded to the J-Man. But we are going to give you the week...
J-Man 2.0.
J-Man 2.0. That is on point. But we are going to give each and every single one of you the opportunity to let us know what you want to call the J-Man, if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
It kind of makes sense.
It kind of makes sense. What name do you want us to give the J-Man? He is the J-Man this week, but he is going to be back and he's going to give us his views and opinions on things that are going on within the wrestling industry, as well as Smack Talks can type the keyboard.
Well, you know, I'm a bit of a keyboard warrior, so anything could happen.
Exactly. And how do you do that? Well, of course, if you listen to us on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Vintage Chisel, then you can let us know via the comments section below. If you listen via iTunes, because you can subscribe to the podcast via iTunes, then you can let us know by giving us a review. And of course, don't forget to give us a rating. And if you do, then please give us a 5-star. A 5-star Frog Splash rating. We would love it, wouldn't we?
Absolutely.
It would be splendid.
It would be splendid.
Indeed. And of course, if you want to go and check out our YouTube channels, I've just mentioned mine. Smack Talks, where can I check you out?
You can check me out at youtube.com/SmackTalks, or you can hit up the website at smacktalks.org.
Yeah, and as well, you can follow us on Twitter as well. It's me at Delzinski and at Smack Networks for Smack Talks. And the J-Man, well, I don't know.
It's a fake J-Man.
It's a fake J-Man. So this week, we're going to be talking about Monday Night Raw and all the ins and outs of what's going on there. But first and foremost, we want to talk a little bit about another wrestling promotion which made its debut this week, because What Culture had their debut show of WCPW, as they like to say it. And I was pretty impressed with it. I actually really enjoyed the show. They've been promoting this for quite some time. And it looked like they'd spent a lot of effort into it. And you're actually...
I thought you were going to say they spent a lot of money on it.
No. I said they spent a lot of effort on the show. And I think it must have cost a fair bit of bob to get all the stars that they got, because they had the likes of Joe Hendry there, the local hero. You've seen him on my YouTube channel, and I think Joe Hendry is absolutely awesome. He is comedy gold, and he's a great wrestler as well to boot. They had Big Damos, they had some ICW guys there. Who else did they have at the show this time? Just having a quick think. Who else did they have? I'm going to go and check for you. I'm going to tell you right now.
Have you not got the match card? I thought you were going to have the match card right up for this.
Well, I'm not that well prepared, you see, this week. It's been a busy week, Smack Talks. It's been a busy
Of course, it was all to take on Rampage in the main event for the What Culture Championship, which got unveiled at the show as well.
Yeah. So they didn't... we won't spoil it too much, because some of you may or may have not watched all the ins and outs of the What Culture show. But if you haven't, then I would suggest you go and check it out, because it was pretty damn good. It was quite enjoyable to watch. And one thing that I enjoyed about it was the commentary team of me and you have met Simon Miller when we went to WrestleMania, and he's a good guy. And he's really good at commentary, because he calls the moves. He has a bit of banter with I think one of What Culture's favourites, which is King Ross. He kind of plays the heel character, and Simon plays almost like the face, or the one that keeps everything organised and ticking along. What did you think of the commentary team, Smack Talks?
I thought it was really good. I've known Simon for a long time now, and he's really clued up. He's really knowledgeable when it comes to wrestling. I think that really come across with these commentaries. I really enjoyed it. It was like listening to Mauro Ranallo. That's what it was like.
Yeah, I think it's quite nice when you actually do watch other promotions to get a different feel of it, because I almost feel like I'm so used to hearing Michael Cole, Jerry Lawler, JBL, and then it, like I go away from it, and let's say I watch a bit of TNA, and now I've got Josh Matthews and the Pope, which isn't really all that. I never quite understand what the hell the Pope is talking about on most occasions anyway, and Josh Matthews can be, a bit like Marmite. You either love him or you hate him. So it's actually nice to go and watch other promotions and get that different feel of commentary. So yeah, it was good. I thought they called the show really well. I liked the banter. They had quite a lot of backstage segments. I don't know whether they were edited in or not, but they were good as well to build storylines, and that's the main thing about these shows. I think you've got to feel like you're interested in the storylines, and it's all about Jack the Jobber's attempts to recruit someone to face Rampage, and he kind of did in the end. I think he got what he wanted.
He did. Like you said, don't want to really give away spoilers, because it's not like it airs on a certain day. You can just go to the YouTube channel and watch it on there. So I think what they've done this week was they aired it Monday night, straight after the disappointing England match. Oh. So it was kind of a pick-me-up for everyone at that point. So hopefully if they're doing that every week, then it's kind of a good way to lead into Raw if you're watching that live on the What Culture stream. And then obviously if you miss it, you can just catch it on the channel later on.
What did you actually think of the What Culture belt?
Which one? The cardboard one?
The new one. The new one.
I thought it was very small.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
I was expecting something a little bit bigger, but maybe that's because, the WWE one is so big, like compared with everything else. Like I think that's twice the size of most belts. So I thought it was like quite cool. It was a nice belt, but it just looked really, really small. And to be honest, when they kicked off the show and you come out with the cardboard one that we usually see, I was like, are they really going to use that? Could that be the real one? Are people going to carry this around with them? So I was kind of, half expecting maybe they could go with that. And it's like a comedy kind of thing. But it was cool to see a real belt. I think it solidifies it as a promotion. It's got its own championship. And I think it can go quite a long way. I think this could easily be one of the biggest promotions in the UK in the years to come, because of the huge following that What Culture's got. So I'm really excited just to see where it goes.
Yeah, I think that's the interesting thing about it, because if you look at the first show that they actually did, they have recruited quite a lot of decent talent, and that's the main thing. Like as well, I forgot to mention they had like Ligero there as well. So they actually went around and got good talent, and they did good build to this show as well. It wasn't like, oh, we're just going to have a show, come see it, because I've been to some indie wrestling shows where you don't really know what's going on, but they actually made the effort to build the whole storylines with things like Jack the Jobber and Joe Hendry first maybe being his pick, then Big Damo possibly being, and it was quite good to watch that to the build of what they did with the show itself. I thought production wise as well, I thought it was really well put together. Like, the actual setup of the arena looked good. I'm not sure whereabouts it is all in Newcastle. You'll know all that sort of stuff, I'm sure, because you're local to it. But I didn't. But
I'm kind of the one local hero myself. Yeah.
Oh, really? Is that what you're calling yourself now? Yeah.
Well, it seems as though Joe Hendry's already took that, so I may have to come up with something else. But I thought it was good the way it was put together. It was done in a warehouse and had like the black sheets up to kind of cover the walls. I think that worked like really well to kind of give it that wrestling arena type feel. Only thing I will say is some of the backstage stuff with the green screen. It was so like badly done in terms of like, I don't know, you could see green on the faces, like the reflections and things. So I was sitting there watching thinking, God, this is really weird trying to watch this. But like aside from that, I think it was really well put together.
But I guess in the future, because this was probably like a I'm not sure how many they've taped and stuff like that, but if it's trial and error and it's going to be a learning curve for them, so you'll probably end up finding that as they go along, they're probably likely to have more things actually taped at the show where they may not even need green screens because they could have their own backdrop for it. So I think that's the interesting bit, is seeing where it goes. I thought the branding was good, the logos, the transitional segments that they have. Editing wise, it was put together nicely. It was put together much better than some shows that I think have been around for quite some time, which is impressive. And let's not forget that they are bringing in bigger talent over the next few weeks. I won't give away exactly who. If you go to their channel, then you might see. But again, that shows the progression or the draw that they have to bring talent over. So yeah, it was good. I was thoroughly impressed. And obviously, we're not that easy to impress a lot of the time. We usually pick out some sort of problem or fault, don't we?
Usually, but I think in terms of the way that What Culture's done it, even when I mentioned kind of the backstage stuff, I think in a way it was probably meant to be like that, because they don't take themselves too seriously. It's just about having fun, having a laugh. I think a lot of that they can kind of get away with that kind of style.
Yeah, and I guess as well for your hardcore What Culture fans, they were true to having the main guys that have got the channel as big as it is, all were featured quite prominently. So that's good. That's good. It's not like we're just going to go with what we all the big deal wrestlers now. We're gonna tie it into the people that have made our channel successful. So yeah, no, I was impressed. I enjoyed the show. I've watched all the parts, and I like the belt. Like I say, maybe a little bit too small, but other than that, it's good. So if you want to go to it, you can go and get tickets for it, I think. So they're still on sale, I think, maybe.
You can. The tickets are on sale now, so you can get them from, I think it's shop.whatculture.com. So you can pick those up there. Also, I'll be giving away 2 pairs of tickets over the next couple of weeks. So if you can afford it, you can get a free option. Maybe go see it for free.
Ooh. Where's my ticket?
I don't know. Maybe Brian's got it.
Has he got it? Brian? You talking about the J-Man?
J-Man, Brian.
I think, to be fair, I've been talking to you about the show way too much. I should ask the J-Man. J-Man, what did you think of the What Culture show? Seem to have stifled him.
I'll have to speak for J-Man here. He says, you're saying this error because your session expired? Oh, typical J-Man.
J-Man, letting the team down.
Do you want to try going back to J-Man?
What, you want me to come back to him now? Is he ready?
Shall we try it? Let's try this. You may have to edit this together.
J-Man, what did you think of the What Culture show?
I loved it. It was like watching TNA, but this was actually good.
Ooh, controversial.
It was worth the technical error.
It was.
It was 100% worth it, because I didn't expect him to say that. Can you? Right.
I like Brian. He's straight to the point.
He's straight to the point. Anyway, let's move on. So yeah, guys, if you want to go and check out What Culture, then you can do so. Their first episode of WCPW is up now. But let's go and talk about the big boys, the big guns, the WWE, and well, there hasn't been too much stuff going on. I didn't really think that we had a huge amount of progression from what we had last week. But what I would say is, when I didn't watch all of Raw, but I kind of picked and chose what I watched. Many people had told me that there was only a couple of segments that were worth watching this week, but I didn't. I went the extra mile. I watched a bit more, and I did watch the.
You didn't watch all of it, though. You've just clearly stated.
Yeah, but I watched a bit more than I had to. I did make an effort. I tried.
Did you watch Social Outcasts?
See, I was going to start with something good, and you've going to start with something awful. I mean, I was going to start.
Mean.
Yeah, come on. If you want to start with this, let's start with this. No, I mean, for the fact that they were so Enzo and Cass, come out and face local competitors, which I was thinking maybe this is the return of the jobbers that we get, like a Brooklyn Brawler, where we start seeing maybe a bit more squash matches with the brand split coming up. And then I was just thinking to myself, why don't they just use the Social Outcasts? And then, funnily enough, they're back. But they're not being squashed. Well, they kind of are, really. They got their segment was atrocious. It was all about having a hard.
No, it wasn't.
Come on. What was it? Well, come on. Who wrote that?
It's just because they're harder than you are.
They can be harder than me if they really want to be. I don't know what they're hard for, but it sounds pretty weird when they keep on saying to Enzo and Big Cass that one of them is the hardest. And I mean, by the look of Bo Dallas's attire, I mean, I'm thinking he was probably the hardest for most of that segment.
I didn't really pay that much attention.
You will now.
I noticed Big Cass was the biggest.
Pardon. I mean, it was just awful. And it was like, I don't know. I even sort of thought to myself, Adam Rose is well shot of this shit. I'm glad he's gone. It's probably better. It's probably worth.
You've probably done it on purpose to get out of it.
It's probably worth leaving the WWE just to get away from it. I mean, what has happened to Curtis Axel?
What do you mean? He's part of this amazing faction now. All I was trying to say was, Rose is gone now, so it's good that he's gone, because now these three guys, this feels like the true Social Outcasts, the three of them. And as you're seeing, they're no longer jobbers. They've got jobbers to job, and now they come out and they're stealing the show.
Yeah, but
they're hard to beat.
Talking about who's the hardest is definitely a Vince McMahon idea. Felt like it, but really
felt like it.
Probably. It was horrible. It was horrible. It's made me hate them even more than when I hated them before. I cannot stand it.
Hate is such a strong word.
No, it's not. In this instance, it's not. I really dislike the Social Outcasts. Bo Dallas could do better. I mean, this is a former NXT champion we're talking about here. This is a guy that came up and everyone was thinking he's going to do some big things, and he's definitely hard enough to do some big things, but he's not hard enough by the sound.
Hard.
And so
I'll put this question to you then.
Go on then.
Social Outcasts or Breeze Dango?
Oh, this is a question this week.
That is a question. Who would you push and who would you fire?
I can't ever fire Tyler Breeze.
And as soon as I said that, I was like, I know the answer here.
I can't be firing Tyler. So, yeah, bye-bye, Social Outcasts. See ya down the old Dole office. Off you go. Bye-bye. Ta-ra, ta-ra.
Those people have a family deal.
Yeah, no. I mean, I don't obviously, I think for their own well-being, they'd be better off on the indies. I mean, Curtis Axel, from his heritage of where he's from, he should be doing better than this. Bo Dallas, like I said, former NXT champion. Slater Gator, meh, go away.
I'll put this to you.
That'll do for that.
If Curtis Axel wasn't the son of Mr. Perfect, would you think he should have something better for him?
He was trained by The Rock, so we know he can do stuff. He just doesn't seem to do it.
It's hard,
I don't really feel that he's ever been given a fair go at it. And when he was with Heyman, even that didn't feel like a fair go at it. Because if you remember at the time, that was when Heyman had lots of, fingers in pies and stuff. He had a finger in Curtis Axel. That's weird. He had a finger in Cesaro. That's even more weird. And of course, he had a big finger inside Brock Lesnar. So, yeah. Too many fingers. Too many fingers in too many pies. So from that analysis of it, didn't really give Curtis Axel, the best opportunity. He needed to be sort of on his own with Heyman if they were going to do that, and they didn't. So I kind of think to myself, he hasn't been given a fair shot at things. Bo Dallas, I just don't think they believed, which is ridiculous in itself. And then I don't care for Heath Slater. Loads of people have literally got a hard on for Heath Slater. What is it? Tell me, somebody enlighten me why you think Heath Slater, because he's like the one that survived every time Every time they get rid of people, he's the one that hangs tough. Why?
See, you must have something in that sense.
Tell me what it is.
You know what? I think it's so good you can't quite put it into words.
It's because there's nothing there. Does the J-Man know what it is?
I can ask him his opinion.
You can.
What did you think, J-Man?
What a bunch of stupid idiots.
Yeah, man.
See, you went there. You went to the J-Man for some, honest feedback and opinion, and he's giving it to you. He's agreeing with me. What a bunch of stupid idiots. So, Paul,
I feel betrayed.
Well, I'm just giving the J-Man a high five now. He's coming back next week now, for sure. Every week, every single week, just for agreeing with me.
Yep.
It's great.
Obviously, an error in his software.
So, I mean, yeah. One thing that did come out of this segment. I don't know what you think of this, We Talkers, but the way that I look at Enzo and Big Cass is, all right. Everybody, the crowd. If you when you watch them and they have their promo segment, the crowd always gets behind the SAWFT. How do you say it, Paul? How do you spell it? Do you remember how you spell it?
I might need some help on this.
Because you've
SAWFT.
Oh yeah, that's the one.
Because I remember before. I think you've spelt it nicely before, haven't you?
I may have swapped the W and the A around. just to create a talking point, obviously.
Well, obviously. But I mean, yeah, they do that, and they spell it out, and everybody chants along with that. Everybody likes that bit. But when Enzo does his big spiel about whatever he's going to talk about this week, the crowd always, to me, feels like it's so dead. Like the crowd don't seem to get it, and I don't feel that they really do. Like it's not like NXT where you kind of had that hardcore fan base that always backed Enzo and Big Cass. They only like them because they have that sing-along bit. And I think that's why this week they were given this sort of Mexican wave thing to do. Because, again, it was something to make the crowd interact with them a bit more and get them behind them a bit. Because I just feel like when Enzo comes out, and I actually really like the stuff that Enzo says, because it's meant to be like, dissing. It's meant to be like, disrespecting his opponent before they come to the ring. But because he does it in such a way, and we've got like this PG audience watching, I don't feel that it kind of connects. Do you get that?
Kind of. Like some weeks, I think it works better than other weeks. I don't know, but it's more like where he's from, like the accent and things. I think it rings true more with people from sort of New York, New Jersey, and stuff. Like a lot of it when he's sort of, well, both him and Big Cass are sort of doing stuff that's local to that area. Then I guess it works with the crowd, but I don't know, for me, some of it I don't really connect with.
Yeah, I think you're right when it comes to the place where they are, because you'll find the heart. Again, though, it goes back to the audience, doesn't it? It goes back to what sort of crowd they got on the night. Because if they got these rowdy crowds, your Chicagos, your New York, you're going to get them back in that. And then I find that when you go to these other states that aren't so vocal, then it just dies on its feet.
Well, look when he's in the UK, and he done his whole dime line, but you mentioned a pound, and every one in the crowd was completely behind it because it was local to the area.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, but he did one a little while ago. Didn't he do one with cheese? And again, I didn't think it really got over.
Yeah.
So it just goes to show.
But I always find when Big Cass does them, it's as if he's really struggling to pull out those names. It's not straight. Like Spitfire coming out one after the other, like The Rock or someone like that would. It seems as though he's really struggling for it, and for that reason, it's like, I can't really get behind this.
Yeah, but I think as well he's toned down his spell it out for you, because do you remember in NXT, didn't he used to stutter and do things like that, and he used to be more aggressive with it. Now it's more, I'm going to spell it out for you. It's more toned down again to So I don't know. Maybe it's a few tweaks that the WWE have made. I don't know whether it's for the better or not, but yeah. So are we going into a feud here of Enzo and Cass versus the Social Outcasts? Is anybody up for that?
Well, don't know about up, but they're definitely hard for that.
It's true. It's true. So I mean, we talkers, what do you think of this? You know, obviously, Smack Talks wanted to go there first. He wanted to talk about the awfulness first. But yeah, what do you think of the Social Outcast being back? Do you know what? It was in my notes here for the Social Outcast. Amazingly enough, we do have notes for this show. But you
have notes.
I have notes. The Social Outcasts are back. Please fuck off. Was my actual written note.
So these aren't very professional notes.
Oh, no, because at the end I tied it back in with what it was all about because I put, they are hard! ! So,
wow.
Truly professional. Anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about the kind of build to Battleground because we got hinted at something that I thought could have worked really well going into Battleground because John Cena and AJ Styles wanted to get in the mix in the world title picture, and they teased this like 5-way match. And when they said that, and they paired up the matches, and they had Ambrose against AJ and Cena against Rollins, I was like thinking to myself, yes, this 5-way thing would be really cool. Like, you know, instead of just having the Shield, and then you can prolong the Shield stuff and get the Shield triple threat at SummerSlam or something like that. But obviously it fell flat on its face because nobody won their match, and it still is the triple threat that we're going to get. But what do you think of the potential of having that 5-way match? I thought that was quite a good idea. And the other thing I didn't really get was, why did Steph go to Ambrose in that promo segment? She said, "Good luck, everybody, except for you, Dean." Like, what's the beef now with Ambrose?
Is this not just something that's carrying on from the past? They've never seen eye to eye, either.
She's never seen eye to eye with Cena, but she didn't do that at Cena, did she? So you get it. Just why is bothering saying that?
Yeah, but I guess Ambrose had more segments backstage.
I guess. But what do you think of the potential of them if they had gone for it for a 5-way match? Because I kind of think it might add a bit more excitement to it because it sounds like it's going to be good, the triple threat, but I think everybody is in agreement that it doesn't need to happen at Battleground.
What? So which would I prefer, basically?
Well, yeah, and if you were booking it, would you put the Shield, the big Shield match at Battleground as well? Would you shift it to a bigger pay-per-view?
If I was going Shield, I would probably save that for SummerSlam. But if I was going Battleground, I quite like the idea of, just putting everyone in there. Maybe I thought they were going like 6-pack challenge when we used to have that. Or even like championship scramble, something different and sort of new at the same time, and being able to incorporate all these people. But as soon as we kind of had the first result and we're seeing AJ Styles didn't actually John Cena didn't get put into the match, I kind of knew straight away it was going to be the same thing come the end of the show, and AJ Styles wouldn't be in it either.
Yeah, see, this is the trouble, isn't it, with the WWE? Because once they let one go, then you kind of knew that it was just going to be them trying to ruin it for each other. And it would have been nice maybe to have a bit of a shot. Maybe one got in and the other one didn't, and he has to work to get in the match. It would have been quite cool to have done that. But, yeah, it kind of... All the show really did this week was cancel itself out, because nothing has changed.
Well, I think that's the thing, yeah. It's been a case of Roman suspension, which I was surprised they mentioned. Because that's come around, this has been like, well, how do we progress this to Battleground without Roman? And this week, it's been a case of, well, we'll tease putting AJ and Cena in there, but what we'll do is we'll cancel that out by the end of the show, and it'll help continue their rivalry at the same time. So I think these next few weeks, it's going to be more a case of, how do we prolong this and keep this interest for the match without Roman actually being here?
Yeah, but it's going to get difficult to keep filling for this, and I was, like you said,
well, maybe they can bring in like a computer voice to do Roman sections like we have with the J-Man.
I actually think that the J-Man could cut a better promo than Roman Reigns right here, right now, don't you think?
I think we should give him time just to come up with something.
Okay, we'll allow the J-Man to have a little think about this, because it is quite challenging. He has to rise to the level of Roman Reigns here, so it's a very difficult task. Very difficult for someone.
Very difficult. Especially someone as, hard as Roman Reigns.
Hard as Roman Reigns. Very hard indeed. Always going strong. Always needs to be pushed and made strong. It's a difficult task for the J-Man, of course.
What did you make of them mentioning the sort of Roman Reigns mistake on Raw?
I don't know. I thought it was interesting that they went down that route, to be honest with you. I kind of... I didn't expect them to really go into that because we still don't necessarily know. I don't think it's been released yet or confirmed yet what he actually has been banned for. I know he's been banned for the wellness policy failure, but we don't know what substance it is, and we so there's a very little mention of this. And usually you do get like the sources confirming what it actually was. And as far as I know, I haven't heard anything. But so for them to go there, and the fact that Seth Rollins was pretty much using it to like own him. I think it's good that maybe they are realising that they have to admit these things when they do go wrong. They can't just ignore it, because that's like telling the fans, when we say there's no more kayfabe, well, by ignoring this, it just kind of, again, becomes a bit stupid. You've just got to be honest about it, be upfront. But the way that Rollins just openly talked about it, and let's just remember this, again, if we're trying to promote this for a PG audience, failing the wellness policy for testing positive for a drug is not really a great thing to acknowledge on national television.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, to me, I didn't think they were going to bring it up because of that reason. It's not good for the company when you've got your top guy getting suspended, and especially when we don't know, because everyone kind of just thinks the worst. So I didn't think they'd do it. I was surprised they did, and especially in kind of the manner that they did, doing it live on TV.
Yeah, and it's that's the thing. It's like, it's in a way I kind of think, oh, well, cool, because, we all know he's failed it, so you can't really hide from it. But then you think about the audience that they're going out to, and they're not going out predominantly for me and you anymore. They're going out for the younger audience, and these kids are in the audience, and we're talking about him letting everyone down because he's failed a drugs test. This is a guy that's supposed to be like, your next Make-A-Wish guy and all this stuff, and he's dirtied his name, and they're now openly acknowledging that he's dirtied his name, and Seth Rollins is making, a promo about it at his expense. So I'll be interested to see what happens when Roman actually comes back, whether he's going to acknowledge what he's done and how he's let people down, or he's just going to come back and say, I'm not a good guy, I'm not a bad guy, I'm just the guy. Because if he comes back and says that, then nothing's changed, has it, really?
But let's put this in perspective. He's got like 4 weeks now to come up with a new saying. Surely he can come up with something.
He's not really any... He could come back and say, I'm not a good guy, I'm not a bad guy, I'm just a drug guy. Ooh.
Does that work? Not sure on that one.
Okay, fine. Maybe not. Maybe
J-Man's got something better.
All right, J-Man, hit us with it.
I am the J-Man. What else can I say? I'm better than Roman, and as hard as Lego, baby.
Wow. That was pretty good, J-Man.
Did he just say that he's as hard as Lego?
He's as hard as Lego.
Jesus. He may have people bricking it right now.
They'll be dropping bricks.
Brilliant. This is great having the third man here. We said a couple of weeks ago this couldn't work. It couldn't ever work. But
it's like our own little Byron Saxton.
It is, and he's much better. He's much more posh as well. Well done, J-Man. Fantastic. So one thing I would say is about this whole Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Amber's bit. I kind of enjoyed the whole end of it all, though. I enjoyed seeing Rollins holding up the belt after a couple of pedigrees, being quite dominant. And when you look up on the ramp, you've got Cena getting blitzed with the Magic Killer, and then the club standing tall. So I quite like that. I think AJ's developing, and it's not really developing because he's been a heel before in New Japan, but I think it just works. I like him being a heel.
I prefer him being a heel. Like, I think as a face he was alright, but he seems to be more into this now. Like, he seemed so generic as a face, I guess. Like, when he first come through, and everyone's kind of getting used to him. But I think now as a heel, I think he's excelling.
Oh, and I just really like the fact that he's like... It honestly feels like to me that he's like shooting at Cena a lot of the time. Because, like, when he says he can't... You're not better than me. You can't beat me. And I do look at it from like a technical wrestling point of view. It's like he's so right. Like AJ Styles just like dominates Cena hands down from a technical, high flying, any sort of wrestling perspective. Cena can't really compare to him with his standard 5 moves.
Yeah.
And it's just I think it's great that you have that they played into that. They tapped into that whole, that he's a better wrestler than him. Because you kind of can think that it kind of eats away at the franchise that is John Cena. Someone got called the franchise this week. Was it Cena again? And I was thinking, someone got called the franchise this week. It was probably Cena.
What? Cena called himself the franchise. He said something along the lines of, "Can you hang with the franchise?"
Yeah, and I was like, what the fuck? This is not Shane Douglas. That's what I said to myself.
Shane Douglas, was that WCW guy?
ECW guy as well. Shane Douglas. Everybody knows Shane Douglas. If you want to go WWE, the Dean. If you want to go there, remember the Dean? Anyone remember the Dean?
Simon Dean.
No, Dean Douglas.
Oh, Dean Douglas.
People can remember that. Simon Dean was the Simon System, wasn't he?
Was indeed.
Completely different guy, aka Hollywood Nova. But see, I know my shit. But yeah,
that guy was talented.
He was. I loved the Simon System. It's one of my favourite ever gimmicks, to be honest with you. When he used to come out on the Segway as well.
I'll have to eBay it, see if I can get one. You do with that.
He had the best theme song ever as well.
Amazing theme.
Everything about
I quite liked your rendition of it. I was going to join in, but I didn't want to spoil it.
I see. Do you remember as well when the Boogeyman was around and Simon Dean was around? That was good as well. All the Boogeyman stuff was quite entertaining. Speaking of that,
with the worms.
the best was the spoonful of sugar. A spoonful of sugar, and he's in the van. I think it was at an ECW show. Not a pay-per-view, but like 1 week or SmackDown, and JBL goes out to the van and pulls the van back, and he's there in the most delightful way, and he's dribbling, and his little alarm clock goes off, smashes that over the head, worms everywhere. Lovely.
Oh, he's amazing, the Boogeyman. We need him back. Bring him back. He should get drafted. Surprise draft.
Oh, that would be great, wouldn't it? That would be great. I would like to see Finn Balor versus the Boogeyman.
That'd be quite cool, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would. It would. I don't care about the wrestling perspective. I just want to see all those sort of weird, the demon gimmick against the Boogeyman. Don't care.
We good. I quite like the idea of that. That's like a dream match.
And I tell you what. Speaking of demons this week, well, everybody got screwed over big time, didn't they? When they thought that there was a demon coming to Raw, because it was the big red retard.
How dare you?
Well, were you happy to see Kane back this week? Because I certainly wasn't.
Kane is legend. What else can I say?
Kane is legend. You're probably the first and the last person to ever say that.
Well, he's technically a legend, isn't he? You would have want to see him, not really.
Well, no, you didn't.
Did they actually tease that? Did they say that a demon's coming to Raw?
Well, I don't know, but all I could see was everybody going.
Have you just made that up?
Everyone was going, "This is ridiculous. This is not the demon." I probably did just make this up, but yeah, did you actually see the bit with what's her name when she fell off the apron?
Maurice.
Yeah, Maurice. When she fell off the apron this week, the little ploy of The Miz. At first I thought, oh my God, that is one of the worst badly acted, worse than Lana falling off the apron.
Miz didn't think so.
No, he didn't.
He gave an Emmy.
But it kind of made it clear what it was all about. She was not hurt. She was just playing to get away from Kane, much like all the women in the WWE. I don't know. Again, is it necessary for Kane to come back to the WWE? I really would say no. I think maybe, when was the last time we saw Kane? With the Brothers of Destruction, wasn't it?
In terms of a match or on TV? Because he was on TV last week as Corporate Kane.
Yeah, more. When did we last see him in sort of wrestling presence?
Royal Rumble, maybe? Yeah. No, it's got to be since then. The Andre Battle Royal?
Oh, yeah, so it's not been that. It's not happening. I don't know. I just wasn't really interested in it. I thought it was not really worth him being there.
It hasn't been for the last few years, to be fair.
So, yeah, That was a bit underwhelming, and the whole like him against the Miz. There's a lot better people out there to be challenging the Miz at the moment, and that's kind of what worries me a little bit. Is like we got Cesaro in like this with pairing with people and teaming with people. When I really want Cesaro in these championship chases for whichever belt, world or intercontinental, and then Kane's popped up for some reason in the intercontinental bit. Ugh, why?
Well, I think it's just a case of past the time until this brand split comes round. And then, it's kind of like, it's that time of year now where it's getting to the end of school. And even the teachers are like, oh, we can't be bothered to give you work. So, just have free periods and things. That's my sort of feel with WWE Creative at the minute. It's like, the end's coming up. We've got the brand split. We don't really have to do much. We'll do the minimalist work. And then once that comes, then we'll do some work.
But that's quite a worrying strategy because Battleground could potentially be really, really bad.
It could be, but if it's just, allowed to focus on the matches themselves, then I don't think they can really be bad if they're putting together John Cena and AJ Styles again. If they're putting together Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, potentially Roman Reigns, been looking forward to that for a while. And then I'm sure they can make up the card full of other great matches just in regards to the wrestling itself.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, one thing I would say, just to quickly go back to Roman Reigns, is one thing's for sure that when he comes back, he is definitely certified heel now. There's no other way around it now. He's going to get booed for the failing of the wellness policy. On top of that, nobody really liked him in the first place.
Yeah, but he cannot be a face now, not after that. I think the time to come and push him as a face is well and truly gone.
Yeah, so I think that's definitely solidified that. Now, I said that I wasn't too keen on Kane returning. It'd be interesting to see where that goes with the Miz. I'm hoping it's not going to be Kane versus the Miz at Battleground. That's not a match I'm really interested in seeing. I don't think it works too well. So yeah, I'll pass on that. Thank you very much. One thing that I thought was interesting this week, but it's going to take a little while for me to understand and get used to, was the Wyatt family and the feud with the New Day, because when did this happen with Xavier Woods? When did he get possessed by the Wyatts? When did he become so scared of them?
He's under his spell, isn't he?
Yeah, but how? And why?
I don't know. Maybe, they've been chilling out backstage, playing some video games, up, down, down, keeping it tight. Maybe he said a few things, whispered them in his ear, and it's caught his attention. But
why are Biggie and Kofi not like helping him? Because they don't seem that bothered. They're like, yeah, what do you think, Woods? Woods, what do you think, Woods? And it's just like, it's fine. He just looks like a little terrified little boy.
I don't know.
I'm worried about
Why?
Why? Who?
Why?
Why? Who? I think it's quite an interesting concept that they're going for, that they may be hinting that he can manipulate Xavier to join the family, and I think that's never going to happen. I think that at the point when he thinks
Daniel Bryan joined the family.
Yeah, this is never going to work. This is even worse if they were to go down this route.
Really?
Yeah, I'd say
really?
Xavier in the Wyatt family? Really?
It's more likely than Daniel Bryan, I will say that.
Daniel Bryan had a beard.
He did, but I'm sure, you could borrow Big E's big beard that he had this week. Just strap that on there.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm kind of guessing that at the last minute, it's either going to be that this was some sort of psych out plan by the New Day, and they're just conning him, and he thinks that he's going to join him, and he's just not. He's going to stitch him up and screw him over. But it's a bit worrying if that's the case, because you know what that means, and it's something that I hate. Is the Wyatt family are not going over, and they've just come back again.
The Wyatt family are never going over.
I mean,
never going to happen.
This is just bringing back bad memories of when we've talked about the Wyatt family in the past. I mean, if you went back through We Talk history, there must be so many episodes where I've said the Wyatts need to be consistently pushed, and every time I say it, they get bitch slapped every time.
I wonder who's got more wins this year, the Social Outcasts or the Wyatt family as a group.
I think the Social Outcasts more, yeah.
I think maybe they are the better team.
I don't know. If you look at the way the Wyatt let's go back to like wouldn't even say WrestleMania. I'd say before that. It's like you had Braun Strowman, who was meant to be like Royal Rumble time. Braun Strowman was meant to be like this dominant monster. He's really nothing now. He's just another jobber. And Eric Rowan obviously went intelligent and then forgot that he was intelligent and went back to the Wyatt family. And Luke Harper's injured, who's probably I would say one of the best out of terms of athleticism out of that lot. And then Wyatt had an injury when he was just about to get pushed. Hold on, they were face at that time as well.
It's been very strange when it comes to the Wyatt family. Do you think they'll get split up when the draft comes around?
Oh, well, no. It's not really worth doing that again, is it? Because we know that didn't work either.
It doesn't work when they're together either, though, does it?
But, now, because I've only just refreshed myself that they were face for like a week before he got injured. I mean, what happened to that?
Strange.
Ridiculous is the term. It's just, what does the J-Man think of the Wyatt family?
I don't know what the J-Man thinks.
Am I going to need to feel for him a little bit?
You may have to feel a little bit for him.
Okay, I shall do that. I wonder if any of you think out there that the Wyatt family are any good. I'm speaking like him. I mean, yeah, I don't get it with the Wyatt family. I'm thoroughly disappointed again by their return, because I think that may be being set up for another downward spiral of the Wyatt family. I don't really think they're going to get past the New Day. I think it's all a big charade, the whole Xavier Wood thing. I don't think he's under their spell at all. Even though they did the backstage segment and he was looking petrified still, and they were trying to make out that Xavier Woods and Kofi were like not really understanding what was wrong with him. So I might be wrong. I'm going to stick with my guns here, and I think that it's just going to be some sort of charade, and they've stitched up Wyatt big time. That's what I'm going for.
Do you think so?
Mm-hmm. Is that enough feeling for you?
It's not. I've broke the website.
It's not. You've broke the J-Man.
I can't get a load.
Anyway, should we move on?
It's the Wyatt family. It's cursed.
The Wyatt family has broke the J-Man, ladies and gentlemen.
It's just bricks lying all over the place.
Bricks everywhere. Anyway, a couple of other things that I thought we'd talk about this week. Sami Zayn and Owens. I don't think we're going to get that match at Battleground.
What, Sami Zayn against Kevin Owens? One-on-one?
Yeah, I don't think we're getting that.
Why? What makes you say that? I kind of thought we were.
I think we're going to insert Chris Jericho into that match.
Possibly, yeah. Now you mention it.
Because then we can get Zayn and Owens at SummerSlam.
See, I kind of prefer that. And it kind of just goes to show exactly what I've just said about filling time.
And of course, everybody needs... you have to ask the J-Man this if we can get him back up and running. You have to ask him if... you don't have to ask him this. You just have to tell him to say this. He has to say, the gift of Jericho. Drink it in, man. He has to say that. I don't know how you're going to get him to say, man.
I can give it a go. What do you think, J-Man? Can you handle that?
The gift of Jericho. Drink it in, man.
He didn't quite get the pause.
Didn't sell it, did he? I think that we're going to get Jericho involved in it, to be honest with you. I think that it will be Jericho, Zayn and Owens, and I'll be very surprised if they do go with Zayn and Owens at Battleground. I tell you what I did like about that segment. I did like the whole Kevin Owens theory that he's a better friend than Sami Zayn, because when he won the title, Sami Zayn showed no appreciation of him whatsoever. I thought that was hilarious, considering the circumstances in which he won the championship at NXT. I mean, it was ridiculous, but
it was a little ridiculous, wasn't it, considering those circumstances?
And I thought Jericho is just still so much gold at the moment with the WWE. Every single, it's like I said to my brother, I was like, he's full time now. It feels like he's properly full time, and it's just wicked that he's there. And every time he says something, it's just brilliant. The whole drink it in man's good. I love that. the way he talked about the show, that he's better than the pair of them, and they just kind of ignore him. Everyone just kind of ignores Jericho and lets him do his thing. It's wicked. It's so funny that maybe about a year ago, or maybe a bit longer than that, we were saying, oh, Jericho, he's putting himself through this and he doesn't need to do this because he's like kind of could damage his legacy. And now he's only made his legacy even better.
But he really has, like, everything that he's done since he's come back. It's been gold. He's the only person that can get away with calling someone a stupid idiot and having the whole crowd behind it. It's been awesome, and I've loved it. I think he's someone that deserves to get pushed in the upper echelons and get another championship shot. But it's just the way that they go on. I don't know if they want to, do that and put the belt on someone that isn't kind of a new era guy. And I think that's kind of harsh on Jericho, because I think he really does deserve it.
I would love to see him with a championship reign, because he's just so good as a heel. This is one of my favourite heels personas that he's had, because he's kind of combined the crybaby Jericho with the stupid idiots and like the sort of sulking with the Jericho that he had where he was suited and booted and pretty straight because he used to just be really angry. And it's like a little mixture of the two, and it's just become this huge egotistical son of a bitch, and it's just I love it. I really do. And anytime Jericho's involved in a segment, I'm just excited to see what he's going to say, to be honest with you. And his in-ring stuff, I mean, it's like he hasn't skipped a beat still. Like, everyone was like, oh, he's got dad bod, but who cares? I don't mind having a dad bod and move around the ring like Jericho does.
Well, considering everyone like having this go at him for this dad bod, I think he's doing pretty well in terms of his performances. Yes, he's a bit slower than he used to be, but I still think he pulls it off. And some of the matches, especially with Styles, I think there's a lot of guys that are younger, fitter guys that wouldn't be able to kind of pull that off. Not the way Jericho has.
How on earth does he do the lion salt still?
He seems to do it with ease, to be fair.
Exactly. Yeah, Jericho has. I'll never ever forget the Raw after WrestleMania, when he was there and he walked up that ramp and he stuck his fingers up to the whole of the crowd, but he knew it was off TV and he just wanted to basically just F everyone off on that night. It's just the subtle things of a heel, and he's the master of it. So yeah, Jericho, as far as We Talk is concerned, he's still gold.
Gold. Can it beat him?
Exactly. Now, a couple of other bits. Del Rio. Now, I know you don't really like talking about Del Rio, but he did possibly turn face this week when he kicked Sheamus off the apron and then just kind of walked out on him. And I would say that I've never really...
Does that really turn heel, or is that just, seeing Sheamus and thinking, just kick him?
Well, no. Well, I've never really understood the whole fascination with the, everyone's like, see, and I've never really understood him as a face, because I've always thought he's been better as a heel. He never looks like a face. He doesn't want to be a face. He never looks like he wants to be the fan favourite.
He doesn't look like a face.
He doesn't look like a face. So why? Why?
I don't know if he even looks like a heel.
He does look like a heel. Looks a bit mean.
Looks upset. I know, but he doesn't. I don't know how to describe it. He doesn't look like he just looks like someone that's just there.
He's just there
and just expects championships and doesn't get them. So he's a bit moody.
He definitely does look a bit moody. He always looks a bit moody. But I don't really get it when the WWE when you look at who you could turn face and heel, and you go like Del Rio, let's make him face. He's like one of those people that I would always keep as a heel. I don't think I'd ever change him. So that would be, if I was booking.
That's his problem though. He never changes. Same music. Same everything.
Yeah. So I mean, if I was booking, I would never ever make him a face, because I just don't think he works as one. I mean, the C chants and stuff, he only really ever got that way with like Ricardo Rodriguez being around him, and he hasn't got that anymore. I think maybe
C.
Wow, that's about as enthusiastic as Alberto. He needs Ricardo Rodriguez there because he had all that enthusiasm for him.
Maybe the J-Man could be his manager.
He could be. He could introduce him, couldn't he? Although he didn't quite handle the man, so I don't know if he could handle Alberto.
Yeah, but he handled the CCC quite well.
He did, but I don't think he was fully into it.
Not feeling it, no.
I'm not feeling it.
But yeah, I mean, Del Rio. So what do we do with Del Rio?
Can we fire him?
Oi, we don't want to see him collecting his P45. I've already got rid
Yeah,
of.
you've just fired the social outcasts. That can surely fire Del Rio.
All right, maybe. Yeah, but then again,
There you go. Who would people rather see fired? Social outcasts or Alberto Del Rio?
Oh my!
I'll put that to you.
If you put that to me, I'm just going with the social outcast to be fired immediately.
You're totally heel tonight as well.
C. Yeah. I kind of. Oh, no, I don't think it's interesting. I think he's a better heel, so I'm not interested to see where it goes. I'm gathering he's going to pick up a feud with Sheamus, and I don't think that does anything for either person, to be honest. So, not a great decision by the WWE. And that match had Cesaro stuck in it, and I think Cesaro's better than what he's doing at the moment. Certainly, again, it's a bit worrying. That's a worrying situation for Cesaro.
Well, it's always a worrying situation for Cesaro. That's when sirens go off every time he comes out.
Ah, yeah, true. But then again, like you say, it's probably working with this filler for the brand split, and then maybe Cesaro will get a better role. And are we bringing back? Is there hints that they're going to bring back the other championship now?
The big gold belt.
Yeah, people are saying that.
I think there is, because I'm sure WWE, I read today, have changed the name of the World Heavyweight Championship, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, to just the WWE Championship.
Have they?
I'm sure I read that today.
Does it say that on the belt? Does it say World Heavyweight Championship on the belt? It doesn't, does it?
It does. I'm sure it does. I'm sure it says World Heavyweight.
Paul, you know they can't change this now. We have bought these now. Don't change it.
Well, they don't necessarily have to change the belt, do they?
You have to buy another one.
According to WWE.com, it is listed as Dean Ambrose WWE Championship, not WWE World Heavyweight Championship.
We spent all our pocket money on these belts, and now they've changed them.
I don't think they'll change it. It's still going to have that on there because it still is the WWE World Heavyweight Championship.
I guess so. I've still got a really good video to do about my belt, but I still haven't got around to doing it yet. Still got a really good one to do, but it will come at some point.
It doesn't exist, like you said.
It doesn't exist.
It's appeared in the video.
I know, it doesn't exist. My belt doesn't exist at all. Yours does, but mine doesn't.
Yours can be on the line for the Brick Club.
Yeah, Wenzel. Leader.
Yeah, shocking leader.
I know. Not very good at FIFA.
You haven't played him yet?
Lucky on WWE games. Wenzel.
When is this going down? When is it going to be the big showdown? Delzinski versus Wenzel?
I really think that I should play him on FIFA 17.
What, next year?
That comes out soon, doesn't it? The next one? September?
It comes out September 29th.
Yeah. So I would say that's like an even playing field because he's bound to have been practicing shitloads, and everybody knows that I only play one game so these days. So I feel like if we play it the minute FIFA 17 comes out, it's like level playing field. I don't mind kicking his ass on FIFA 16. That'd be perfectly fine.
I played the J-Man, and I don't want to give away spoilers because we haven't posted the video yet. But it was entertaining. Lots of goals.
Lots of goals. J-Man's very quiet over there, so, it's first time for everything. I was going to say to you, with Wenzel, I actually watched back the match that me and you played, where we played Liverpool and Everton, and I won that match. Do you remember that? Remember that match?
Yeah, the one you uploaded to YouTube and then stopped us uploading others because you lost the audio.
I missed the penalty, but then still won.
Are you hinting that maybe we should have another rematch?
You can have a rematch as well. I think I should probably play Wenzel as well beforehand, but I just thought, with the new game, then it might...
I'll play the winner.
Oh, God.
We'll go winner stays on.
I literally have not played FIFA probably since the last time me and you played it. No,
I played singles matches aside from pro clubs at the weekend. Yes, Sunday. So I played a cup run as England, thinking, I'll see if England can do well ahead of the match against Iceland. Of course, with me in charge instead of Roy Hodgson, we had 3 games. Well, I had 4 games, but only streamed 3 of them. actually won the quarterfinal, round 16 before that, the semi-final, and Kyle Walker in the final give England the victory in that AA Shield. Why couldn't that happen Monday night?
Because that sounds completely untrue.
It was valid and true, and it was live on stream.
I'm just saying to you that could never happen because Tottenham players are the reason why we did not do well in the Euros. Harry Kane, corner Kane, free kick Kane. I mean,
take Rooney off, leave Kane on set pieces.
It'll
be fine.
If we'd had the demon Kane taking our set pieces, even with his mask on, he'd be able to take a better free kick than Harry Kane.
Well, they were missing that hellfire and brimstone, weren't they? You just weren't feeling it.
I know. It's just, devastating. It was all a plan from Spurs to, get their own back because Arsenal obviously finished above them in the league once again, didn't they?
It did. Two exits from Europe in 1 week.
I know. So we decided to bring some normality back to the Brits out there by having We Talk, because where would you be without We Talk at the moment with all the commotions of us leaving Europe twice? Madness out there. It's madness.
Just need to pick me up. That's what We Talk is for.
Exactly. So yeah, it's obviously we have just had a discussion about the depressing fact that we lost to Iceland. Yeah. That's enough of that for this week. Do you know what was really depressing about that? So I'd got myself geared up to watch the WWE 2K17 promotional video for Lesnar being the cover star. I was thinking I'm going to watch the England game. I had my England shirt on. I was ready. I was cheering on England. And then I was like sat down and really depressed after that. And I was wearing my England shirt and I thought, I'm so disgusted. I'm not going to wear this. I can't watch this video and I can't record this video with this England shirt on. It's upset me so much.
Did you rip it off? Throw it down?
I ripped. I did.
Hulk Hogan style.
I Hoganed it. Yeah, I ripped it off, and then watched the video. Yeah, that's what I did. So I did it.
So of course, as you just mentioned, big news: Brock Lesnar cover star for WWE 2K17.
I think it's
right, man.
I think it's the right man. I don't think it's the J man, but I think it's the right man.
It's definitely not the J man, but I think he's the right man for it. He's a good choice in terms of the big names that they've gone for. I think a lot of people wanted one of the Shield members on there, or maybe even all three. But I think in terms of showcase-wise, if they're doing Brock Lesnar as a cover star, Brock Lesnar 2K Showcase, then that's a lot of good matches you can have in there, and it brings in some legends like Kurt Angle.
Yeah, I think as well with the fact that if you look back over the last 12 months, Lesnar's had like a hugely successful one. I mean, he's toppled The Undertaker. He dominated Cena. He's been the champ. WrestleMania, bossed it again. Just pretty much destroyed Dean Ambrose, let's be honest. And then when you look at what's coming up, it makes absolute sense to have him as the cover star because, he's got this big deal going on with UFC. He's selling big bucks there. He's at SummerSlam. We don't know what he's doing yet, but, I mean, it all kind of adds up that the fact that Lesnar is money and having him on the cover will sell, and I think it would sell better than you having a Roman Reigns. I think it might. I like Seth Rollins, but I think it would sell better than that, and I think it would sell better than having a Dean Ambrose. And when you go and look at the showcase stuff as well, yeah, plenty of stuff you can do with a Brock Lesnar. I would be honest with you, it's been a long time coming. What was the last one he was the cover star for? Here Comes the Pain.
Yep.
And so when you look at it now, you kind of think to yourself, maybe he could have even been last year's one, and they went with Austin. So. I'm glad, and I loved the trailer. I thought the trailer was great again. Whenever 2K do those trailers, I just enjoy watching them. They're good.
I thought it was awesome. It was a really good trailer. The one thing I'll say is if they do 2K Showcase for Brock Lesnar, the one thing I'm really looking forward to is if we get to play against The Undertaker to try and defeat the streak. And we do it. And then it cuts to the crowd, and we've got a shocked Undertaker guy in the crowd. That's what I want to see.
You think they're going to put that in?
Do you think they could? Maybe.
They need to, oh my God, 2K needs
because the crowd reactions, it's a big thing. Let's get that crowd animated in that same way it's showing the shock. And obviously the current crowd, well, it's not really going to cut it, is it?
2K need to go and face capture that bloke's face when he did that reaction. That's what they need to do.
That would be amazing to see him in the crowd.
I'm going to suggest that to 2K.
Wouldn't be the same without it, would it?
I'm going to suggest that. Next time I speak to someone from 2K and say, have you motion capped that guy that was in the crowd?
Me too.
I was. Do you know what's quite interesting about that? I made. I think it was 2K14. I made. Oh yeah, I made a defeat the Sheik video. Yeah, and I did all the build because I was basically saying like, oh, fuck the streak. Now you got to defeat the Sheik. Yeah, and so I did the build of Lesnar breaking the street, and it was so funny. I had to like look in the crowd for just some random guy that looked a bit like that guy, and I actually put that cut bit in to make sure that was that guy's reaction. There is it, and if you go and watch that video, the guy actually does look like that guy.
That'd be quite cool. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that.
Yeah, I've done it ages. I really like that video actually. It's one of my favourite videos because no one expected the Sheik to come in and go fucking bullshit.
Fucking bullshit.
Oi, oi, oi,
What?
oi,
J-Man?
J-Man, none of that language around here. No one swears on this show apart from me.
Disgraceful, that is.
Exactly. Calm down. Gee.
We'll be getting invited back at this rate.
I know. He needs to watch your lip, son. Watch your lip. I think he's ruined the show for us this week now.
Yes, he's trying to take it over now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's getting all cocky bollocks over there. Just
He's silent now. He's not saying anything.
No, he's mouth.
He's done wrong.
Yeah, he's malfunctioned now. He's off. And I mean, it really has reined in the show this week. I think it has brought us to a close. So, I mean, Smack Talks. Have you got any shameless plugs this week?
Well, with the news on 2K17, we've been covering that. Been covering the cover reveal, and also the trailer had a few little hints and secrets in there. So I had a few other superstars kind of confirmed for the game, the likes of Booker T, Alberto Del Rio. I think there was around 12 or so, maybe, in total, including a few NXT people. So there's a breakdown video of that up on my channel, so you can check that out. I've also got a bunch of custom covers that I made, so they're all available for download. If you want to check out Regeneration X, Elle's been uploading some Walking Dead Michonne. I've just picked up Lego Star Wars, so I'm looking forward to playing that, so I may stream that. And of course, we've got Throwback Thursday stream tomorrow, SmackDown vs. Raw 2009.
Ooh, very good. Sounds like you're busy. Very busy indeed.
Busy. I'm shattered now.
Oh, it's good though, because this is a sort of time when obviously we have the trailers for 2K and stuff where all the sort of good content can start. Not that we don't bring out good content normally, but this is when you can start getting into some creative stuff, thinking of what's going to come out in the next game. So it's all quite exciting now. So yeah, it's going to be good. From my side, we got Fastlane, which is not this weekend, the weekend after, which is kind of good because we have got the Fam Survival coming up this weekend. So make sure you go check that out. That's going to be awesome. I'm involved in it. Smack Talk's involved in it. Other YouTubers involved in it. So that is on this weekend. After that, you're going to have Fastlane the week after. Big pay-per-view. We've got Austin versus Shane McMahon. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Shane McMahon in a no-holds-barred match. I think as well we've got Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt inside a steel cage. Fantastic stuff. We all know how we love the gameplay inside a steel cage on 2K games at the moment. And as well, I don't know if I should give any more away. I won't give any more away. I will just keep stum. It's good. We've done quite a lot of recording of it already, and the show looks like it's going to be an exciting one. Other stuff, I'm going to be doing some concept work. I've also done some top 5 drafts for the draft that is coming up very shortly on the live SmackDown show. So I kind of picked out my top 5 of what I think will be on Raw and SmackDown, so go and check them out. And there'll be maybe a couple of videos appearing on another channel that I'm doing some work on. So stay tuned.
Sounds good.
Very busy. Has the J-Man done anything?
He's done nothing. He's
gone.
You know, we do all this work, and he's too busy smashing eggs over his head. That's all he gets up to these days.
Absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, it makes me laugh. It's so funny. It just reminded me of the conversations that we've had on social media today, which have been rather fun.
Yeah, no one's gonna know what they are.
No,
but They've been amazing.
They have been amazing.
True Brit Club stuff.
True Brit Club stuff. And hopefully there will be some more Brit Club videos coming for each and every one of you very soon. If you haven't checked out the one that we had already, they are on the Brodos channel, they're on the J-Man's channel, they're on the Revolutions channel, all fully fledged members of the Brit Club. But obviously the key two players here who really should be the leaders are here talking, but Wenzel's done it, isn't he?
Yes.
Really...
That's what happens when Wenzel's the leader.
Yeah. Thanks, Wenzel. Annoying, isn't it?
It is.
Indeed.
Depressing.
It is depressing. It's upset us a lot, to be honest. But anyway, I guess that all is left to be said for this week's We Talk. I hope you've enjoyed it, and make sure you do hit that 5-star Frog Splash review for us if you can. And let us know what you want us to call the J-Man from next week. It will be a new name, and it will be chosen by each and every one of you. I'm looking forward to it. Smack Talks, are you going to catch us later?
She'll catch you later.
Do I dare ask the J-Man if he's going to say goodbye?
See you next week.
Oh, he thinks he's come back next week?
Well,
We'll see, after that language.
Exactly. He may well be coming back next week, but he will be coming back with a brand new name. So yes, this is Delzinski finally signing out.